Hey guys, Kristen here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do the Finally Fall book tag.
Could you be so cold? That's the winter wind when it breeze, yo. Just remember that you were talking to me, though. You need to watch the way you're talking to me, yo.
I got the idea for this tag from Ashley from A Dash of Ash. She basically tagged everybody who watched the video and wanted to do the tag, so I'm going to take her up on that. Now, like Ashley, I also live in Florida, so we don't really get fall, but I love the season of fall. So I am going to embrace the spirit of fall, even though it's like 86 degrees here right now, and do this tag. Before we get started with the tag, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do that. And at the end of the video, if you enjoy the video, give it a like to let me know. Let's get started. Okay, question number 1. In fall, the air is crisp and clear, unless you live in Florida. Name a book with a vivid setting. This one was really kind of hard for me because I love fantasy books, and so like everything I read that's fantasy has a pretty unique setting, but I had to pick one, so I went with Daughter of the Burning City by Amanda Foody. It's got a carnival setting, which is really popular recently, but I just really feel like this one nailed it. Like all of the sights and the sounds and the tastes and the smells, I really felt like I was there in the carnival with the main characters. Like a lot of the snacks that they were eating and a lot of the scents that are described, from the smoke that's at the gates to these like chocolate covered cherries that they eat. I don't know, I just really felt like this one was the most vivid. So gonna go with Daughter of the Burning City for number 1. Okay, number 2. Nature is beautiful, but also dying. That's really dark. It's really deep too. Name a book that is beautifully written but also deals with a heavy topic like loss or grief. So I don't read a lot of books that really focus on that as a topic because I don't read a ton of contemporary, but I do have a really good book for this one, and that is A World Without You by Beth Revis. This book blew me away. I loved this book. I read it over the summer and I stayed up till 4 o'clock in the morning finishing it. It deals with mental illness and it also deals with suicide. This book just handles those things in a really honest way, and I think that that was the most engrossing thing about this story. It deals with a teenage boy who has delusions, and he's at a place for teenagers with mental illnesses, and the whole book you're kind of living through his delusions with him, and you're really kind of asking yourself if it's really happening or if it's his mental illness. And I just really felt like it was a beautiful story and really just pulled me in from the very first chapter. So highly recommend A World Without You if you haven't read it yet. Question number 3. Fall is back to school season. Share a nonfiction book that taught you something new. I do not read a lot of nonfiction. It is not my favorite genre because it's not much fun. But I did read one nonfiction book several months ago that I really loved, and that was Trevor Noah's autobiography, Born a Crime. I actually listened to the audiobook of this, and it's read by Trevor Noah himself, and I felt like not only did it really help me understand his childhood, but the thing that it taught me that was new was a lot more about apartheid. I really felt like hearing his first-hand accounts of what it was like growing up in South Africa during apartheid and right after apartheid was over was really unique. And if you haven't read it yet, he does a really fantastic job of telling, his own story. Question number 4. In order to keep warm, it's good to spend some time with the people we love. What? Name a fictional family, household, or friend group that you'd like to be a part of. For this one, I'm going to go with the Weasleys. I managed to fit Harry Potter in somewhere every time I film a tag video. You could use a Harry Potter book for pretty much every tag question. For this one, definitely gonna say the Weasleys. And even if you didn't want to be a Weasley, like just a part of that friend group with Harry and Ron and Hermione, and yeah. Question number 5. The colorful leaves are piling up on the ground. Show us a pile of fall-colored spines. And I just realized while I was reading that I didn't prepare for this question before I started filming. Yeah. Normally I don't keep my bookcases behind my couch. Since we evacuated from a hurricane and came back, I haven't had a chance to move all of the furniture back where it's supposed to go. So just in case you're wondering why my couch is in front of a bookshelf, because that's a really weird place to keep your couch in front of your bookshelf. Should get on that. Okay. Oh, I see some good orange spines already. I'm so prepared. I'm going with kind of like an orangey theme here. Here we go. Oh God, I picked 2 huge books. What was I thinking? Here we go. Oh, I can't even lift these books. Oh. here we go. Girl of Nightmares is actually very fitting. That's a really kind of spooky October read. Illuminae, slipped Harry Potter in there one more time, and totally random Veronica Mars novel. I can't hold those up anymore. Wow, I picked really big books for that. Question number 6. Fall is the perfect time for some storytelling by the fireside. Share a book wherein somebody is telling a story. This was a really hard one. This is probably the hardest question in the whole tag because I had to really sit and think, like, what is a book that I've read recently where somebody is telling a story in the story? I don't know how I remembered it, honestly, but Poison Princess by Cressley Cole. This is the first book in that series. Basically, this whole book is kind of like a story being told by one character to another character, and it starts off in the prologue. The person who becomes our main protagonist of the story shows up at the front door of this other character, and basically for the whole story, she's telling us everything that's happened leading up to the moment when she came to his door, and it's kind of like a unique way to tell the story. I really love this series. It's one of my favorite YA series, and I actually kind of feel like it's very underrated. People don't talk about this enough. It's written by Cressley Cole, who is like an amazing adult fantasy romance author who started writing this YA series. It's a unique story where teenagers are basically like the flesh and blood embodiment of tarot cards who all have to kind of wage war against each other over the whole series of books until only one is left alive. So that's a story within a story. I did it. Question number 7. The nights are getting darker. Share a dark, creepy read. So for this one, I'm actually going to share a book I literally started reading today, and that's There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. I don't know how creepy and dark it's going to be. I think it's going to be more like a YA scream slasher novel with some high school drama thrown in type of thing, but I just started that. That is my current audiobook read. So if you have read that, let me know what you think in the comments section, but don't spoil it for me because I literally just started that story today. Question 8. The days are getting colder, in theory. Name a short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. So I got stuck on this one for a while because I was trying to think of a short, heartwarming story, but honestly, if I was gonna give a book to somebody to cheer them up, it would be The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. This book makes my heart so happy. I mean, it made my heart a little sad a few times throughout the story because there is this unrequited love happening throughout the book. However, this book has so many heartwarming moments and it's so funny. Oh, I really loved this story so much. And again, you know what's really funny is I picked a lot of things for this tag that I've listened to on audio, which is weird, but I listened to the audio of this one as well. And the narrator just totally nails Monty's point of view. Oh, just spectacular. So if I was gonna give a book to somebody to cheer them up on a cold and rainy day, it would absolutely 100% be this book, even though it is long as crap. Definitely not a short story, but totally worth it. Question 9. Fall returns every year. Name an old favorite that you'd like to return to soon. There's only one series that I've really gone back and reread, and that was Stasha Kane's Unholy Ghost series, which is an adult urban fantasy, which I read a long time ago, and so I went back and listened to the audios. I feel like the theme of this video is audiobooks for some reason. I don't know why. I digress. I'm not really big into rereading. However, if I was going to go back and reread a series, I would probably pick, my book was upside down, I would probably pick Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. The Throne of Glass series is one of my favorites. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that I did a review video for every book in the series so far. I think it would be really fun to go back and read this story from the beginning, knowing like all the secrets that are gonna come out, knowing what I know now. So that would probably be the only one I could really think about going back and rereading right now, which would be totally daunting because there's a ton of books and they're all like 500 pages. Okay, the final question, question number 10. Fall is the perfect time for cozy reading nights. Share your favorite cozy reading accessories. This is actually my favorite reading accessory. I just totally woke her up. Zoe is probably my favorite reading accessory. She's always around snuggling with me when I read. Huh. She's really excited to be here right now. I'm gonna let her go back to sleep. So my other favorite reading accessory in the fall is candles. I love pumpkin scented everything. So I do collect pumpkin scented candles, and I have my current 3 favorites that I've been burning next to me right now that I thought I would share with you. First one is Caramel Pumpkin Swirl, and this is a new one this fall. and it's really, really sweet. There's a lot more caramel than pumpkin here, but it has like that little bit of pumpkin pie spice smell mixed in with the caramel, so I like it. The next one is sweet cinnamon pumpkin, which is kind of like a staple. This one is almost a little too cinnamony for me. It's like a really, really strong pumpkin pie smell, but I still really love it. If I put like this one and this one together and burn them at the same time, they kind of even each other out a little bit. And my favorite fall candle is pumpkin cupcake. And this one is amazing because it smells like a pumpkin cupcake. Oh my God, I love this thing. It smells like pumpkin pie with like extra whipped cream, which is about my favorite thing in the world. Those are my answers to the Finally Fall book tag. If you are interested in doing this one yourself, then I tag you. And if you do the Finally Fall tag, make sure you let me know because I would love to see your answers to these questions. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time with another video. Bye.